One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. I say to you, you still have chaos within yourselves. Friedrich Nietzsche was no stranger to suffering throughout his life. He faced numerous struggles, both physical and emotional, which ultimately led him to propose a profound solution to human suffering in his seminal work, Thus Spoke Zarathustra. In this, he introduces the concept of the UBERMENSCH, or Superman, as the ideal human being who transcends ordinary existence. If you're finding this exploration of Nietzsche fascinating, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to help us make more contents on this. Nietzsche's life was marked by tragedy from a young age. His father, a German Lutheran pastor, passed away from a brain illness when Nietzsche was only 5. Not long after, his younger brother, Ludwig Joseph, also died. These early losses had a profound effect on his family, forcing them to leave their home and relocate to the town of Naumburg. As a teenager, Nietzsche began distancing himself from Christianity. By the time he attended the prestigious Schulpforta boarding school, he had already started questioning his faith. His formal break with Christianity occurred around the age of 20, while studying at the University of Bonn in 1865. However, his time at university was not a success. Disagreements with his professors, Otto Jahn and Friedrich Wilhelm Rell, left Nietzsche frustrated and disillusioned with academia. He found solace in music, composing works influenced by the Romantic composer Robert Schumann. At this time, he began reading philosophers like Arthur Schopenhauer, whose critical stance on religious dogma and focus on human suffering deeply resonated with him. In 1865, Nietzsche transferred to the University of Leipzig, following Rell, who had moved there. 2 years later, Nietzsche's military service was abruptly cut short due to a serious chest injury sustained while attempting to mount a horse. He spent a long period recovering, returning to his studies at Leipzig in late 1868. During this time, he grew close to composer Richard Wagner and befriended the classicist Irene H., the author of Psyche. In 1869, Nietzsche was awarded an honorary doctorate from the University of Leipzig without needing to submit a dissertation or take exams. This led to his appointment as a professor at the University of Basel at just 24 years old. In 1870, Nietzsche took a break from academia to volunteer as a medical orderly during the Franco-Prussian War. Unfortunately, this experience severely impacted his health, leading to lifelong afflictions with dysentery and diphtheria. Despite returning to Basel, his health continued to decline. By 1871, he was forced to apply for a vacant chair in philosophy, but his bid was unsuccessful. The early years in Basel also marked the deepening of Nietzsche's friendship with Wagner. However, as Wagner increasingly incorporated Christian and nationalist themes into his work, particularly with Parsifal, Nietzsche, who had grown disillusioned with these themes, ended the friendship by 1878 due to Wagner's chauvinism and anti-Semitism. Nietzsche's health worsened, leading him to take sick leave in 1877 and move in with his sister and friend, Peter Gast. The following year, he published Menschliches, Allzumenschliches. In 1879, poor health forced him to resign from his professorship, and he was granted a pension of 3,000 Swiss francs, which he would live on for the remaining decade of his life. Seeking both physical relief and creative inspiration, Nietzsche moved to the Swiss Alps in 1881, specifically to the town of Sils Maria in the Engadine region. The peaceful surroundings aided his work, and it was during this period that he wrote significant portions of Thus Spoke Zarathustra. In 1882, Nietzsche's personal life took a painful turn when he met Paul Rée, who introduced him to Lou Salome, a woman Nietzsche quickly fell in love with. However, Salome did not reciprocate his feelings, viewing their relationship as purely platonic. She and Ray formed a non-romantic trio with Nietzsche, but the ensuing jealousy led to the dissolution of their bond, leaving Nietzsche emotionally devastated. This experience profoundly influenced his later works. As Nietzsche continued to experience physical suffering, personal failure, and disillusionment, his view of human existence evolved. He observed that, with the rise of science, reason, and secularism, traditional religious beliefs were losing their grip on providing meaning and purpose to people's lives. He famously declared, "God is dead, and we have killed him," warning that humanity was on the verge of a nihilistic crisis. In response to this crisis, Nietzsche proposed his concept of the UBERMENSCH as the ultimate solution to human suffering. The UBERMENSCH represents the individual who creates their own values and meaning in a world devoid of inherent purpose. Through all the hardships Nietzsche endured, he sought to offer humanity a path beyond the despair of nihilism and toward the self-empowerment embodied in the UBERMENSCH. He said, "Behold, I teach you the UBERMENSCH. Let the UBERMENSCH be the meaning of the earth. Behold, I teach you the UBERMENSCH. It is this lightning? It is this madness?" Here are 4 steps from Nietzsche's teachings to achieving the UBERMENSCH. Embrace individuality. The individual has always struggled against being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try, you will be lonely often, and sometimes frightened. But no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. Nietzsche differentiated between herd morality, which represents the values of the majority, and master morality, which involves taking risks to create genuine, significant values. The individual must be willing to put themselves in jeopardy to achieve mastery over their own life. Live dangerously. Nietzsche advised that we must live dangerously, rejecting false security in favor of pursuing true knowledge, especially self-knowledge. The struggles we face in life ultimately make us stronger. Nietzsche's famous assertion, "What does not kill us makes us stronger," serves as a vital lesson for discovering our true selves. Question tradition. Nietzsche emphasized that we must challenge social norms and break from tradition to create our own meaning in life. He encouraged individuals to reflect on their inherited beliefs and only follow those that resonate with them deeply. Create your own values. For Nietzsche, there is no correct way for everyone. The right path is the one you discover by identifying your true values. You must not fear what others may think or say. The meaning you find is ultimately your own, even if it conflicts with others' beliefs. Nietzsche was deeply critical of societal norms and laws that have been imposed upon humanity. He believed that traditional work routines, like the typical 9 to 5, were soul-crushing, and that true fulfillment comes from taking time to reflect and discover yourself. As he put it, "A man is the sum of his actions, of what he has done, of what he can do. Do nothing else." Despite Nietzsche's profound wisdom, he struggled to apply his own philosophy in his life. After his retirement, he lived with his sister and then alone. Following his emotional rejection by Lou Salome, he descended into madness. His health deteriorated further, and he eventually contracted syphilis, which led to his mental collapse. He spent his final years in an asylum, cared for by his mother and later by his sister, before passing away on August